See it played. Death Ride, Hafid Ridge. Actions. Start of the turn sequence of play. We have the air allocation phase. The British player needs to roll a 1 or a 2. They rolled a 5, so that they get no air mission. Germans need to roll a 1, 2, or 3. They rolled a 4, so no air missions this turn. In review, the combat service support phase executed once daily, first daylight turn of the day by both sides, includes reinforcements, withdrawals, replacements, reorganization, intelligence, and supply determination. But we're skipping that for this action. So we're going to go to the German player turn, command and control phase. The defensive position is good. So now we're going to the German operations. Before, the German defenders were trying to spread out the suppression. Of note, the Germans have destroyed their first British tank platoon there. That was the second platoon Alpha Company, 6th Royal Tank Regiment. Destroyed there. One, two, three. So the lead British platoon here that is suppressed is within both primary and secondary range of the panzers here. So they're going to fire. The 88s, the anti-air platoon. Let's see. We'll fire. Well, we're obviously firing, and since these don't have to be declared ahead of time, I'll see how each attack goes. So we'll start with the Panzer platoon here, firing primary and secondary weapons at this lead platoon. They're already suppressed to level 2, so if they can... so the first thing is adding, if we get a hit, we're going to be adding... let's say, we're going to be adding red suppression to green suppression. So I do have to relook at that. And then we're also going to try to see if we can knock out that platoon and then have, which will get us to 2 destroyed British tank platoons. But first the combat here in more detail. Okay, so the combat here again, tank against tank platoon against tank platoon. Right off the bat, I think it's probably just ×1 firepower, but let's go secondary first. Secondary, the Panzers have a secondary weapon factor of 5 at range 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is it's a medium target. British tanks, medium target. Secondary weapon at secondary range, and this is just a German unit with a dash. Oh, so it's half of the secondary weapon. So it's 2.5. Use my calculator here, and then we have primary weapon factor of 4 at range 6. So that's primary weapon at short range. Again, medium target. Primary weapon short range 1 times 5, or you know what I mean, times 1.5. So this is 6 for a total of 8.5. Yeah, that's the firepower of the Panzer platoon there, divided by the defense. Oh, okay, so it's 7 plus 2 for the suppression level. Yes, I'm pretty sure that I said before incorrectly. I did read the rules as the defense factor is increased by the percentage. So I thought it was defense factor of 7 plus 20% of that. It's actually, I figured out from looking at some other Death Ride materials, I figured out, I think it's 7, it's just 7 plus 2. 7 plus 2, so 9. So that is 0.94, which is the 0.75 column. So we have our 0.75. We know we're using the 0.75 column, and we go to the die roll modifiers. Target's not adjacent. This is not a plus weapon. The firer is not suppressed. We're not firing from more than one hex face for basically crossfire. We are at same elevation as the target, so there is no upper or lower elevation. Defender's not dug in, not in fortification. Firing, the target is not making a withdrawal. It's not night, no wire, no mines, no close air support, no opportunity defensive fire, and not firing after moving. So it is just flat. 0.7 on the 0.7. Roll a 2 on the 0.75 column. That is nothing. Okay, so that is that is a full direct fire attack in detail. I don't think I missed anything. We compute our firepower using the modifiers on the firepower table. We find a ratio. We find the highest column on the fire table that does not exceed our ratio. Roll a 10-sided die. Apply our DRMs and get a result. And so that was no effect. So we'll look at what we're going to do with this anti-air platoon. So again, to walk through the anti-air platoon attack, because again, I'll repeat, in this little action, the Germans only have basically two kinds of attacks. Attacks with the anti-air platoon and attacks with their panzer platoons. Two basic kinds of attacks. Now, the anti-air platoon, never mind. I thought that the anti-air platoon did not have a target at short range, but I was looking over here. Actually, that platoon right there is at close range or short range 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually, the anti-air platoon is going to mass its fire against that platoon. And actually, let's see if we can get a kill on that platoon. So again, the firepower, and they're elevated. They are on that point there. They're on that point firing down on the desert floor there. Okay, so here, let's do the secondary weapon. Again, it's a medium target. So medium target, secondary weapon, short range, and this is a German unit with a plus. That's the plus right there, anti-air platoon. The plus between so you have 6/6 plus 6. It's the plus after the primary weapon factor of 6 that makes it a German plus unit. German plus unit, it's still 1/2. So 1/2 of 6 is 3. So I've got 3. Start my calculator going. All right, I got my primary factor of 6. Medium target, primary, short range, and that's times 2. Oops, there we go. Medium target, the British tanks, primary weapon, short range, times 2. So that primary weapon factor of 6 is doubled to 12. So that's 15 divided by the British tank defense factor of 7 is obviously 2. Is 2. So we are on the 2 column. And 2 column, from what I remember, is we start getting some good chances of serious effects. Okay, so this is a plus weapon. This is the important one. Plus weapon, that's the German anti-air platoon, versus medium. The British tanks are a medium target at less than 6 hexes away. We're at 4 hexes away. That's plus 2. Plus 1 for firing 2 lower elevation. Now we're up to plus 3. and that's it. So we have +3, 2 column +3. Oh, still rolled a 3. +3 is 6, but that still will be something. That's an S2. So 2 column 6 is S2. All right, well, something. All right, so we have the Panzer platoon next to it could could use primary. I wonder if they should have combined their fire. Well, we have 2 more Panzer platoons, so okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and have the 2 Panzer platoons fire together at the unit that we just suppressed to level 2. It's barely within range of this platoon here. So I have a range of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So first of all, well, you can do fire independently. Well, it's not the way to put it. I can attack that unit again. It's not like all attacks against a unit must be done together at one time. I believe that they can combine fire. They're certainly from the same formation. But I'll review right now. What are the rules for combining fire from different stacks? And finally, this fire crosses this hex side. This fire actually comes right down the hex spine here, and I believe that this is not going to qualify as quote-unquote crossfire. This is not going to count as coming across another hex side. If this platoon were just like 1 hex over, then the fire would be coming over this hex side, and we would get that DRM. Okay, so they are going to combine fire. Normal, I guess I'll call them, I don't know, normal dash units, maybe, instead of plus units. Call them dash units, maybe. All right, regular dash units using primary weapons against a medium target at primary or long range is just a ×1. So it's 4 + 4 is 8. So it's 8 against, it would be, if the British tanks were not suppressed, it would be 8 against 7, which would be on the 1 column. But they are suppressed, so the 7, it's 7 + 2 for 9, which means obviously that we missed the 1 column. And we are on the 7.75 column, but let me just double check. Whoops, I went the wrong way. 8. Yeah, it's the 0.75 column. They are, oh wow. You know, I didn't even think, they're both elevated, firing down. I wonder, okay, it says here, firing at target on lower elevation. At least 1 unit must be firing at a lower elevation hex. They're both firing, but I guess if you had one on the same elevation as a target and one at a higher elevation, you would still get it. Okay, so +1 for being a higher elevation. I think that might be it. Yeah. So it's +1 for firing at lower elevation. On the 0.75 column, so you have 6 + 1 is 7. That's an S1. Okay, S1. Now, I think, okay, so well, I should double check this, but I think that, yes, it's a red 1, but I think that I do combine at this time and just make it a 3 because they're both reds. I would not combine red and green, but I think I would combine these reds here. Okay, it feels like it's been a while since I've reiterated the The theme of Death Ride. The theme of Death Ride is very succinct, very terse rules. Anyways, I think that we just add them together, as far as I can tell. So already had 2, we added 1 more, so it is at red 3. They would be done, the Germans would be done, they would be marked like that. As a matter of fact, I'll do this in order now. Close assault phase, there is no German close assault, and then unit suppression recovery. Now what I remember is the phasing player reduces suppression, then both players turn red suppression to green. And let me double check if I remember that correctly. Yes, phasing player reduces. So these British suppressions do not reduce at this time because it's the German player turn. Germans don't have any suppression to reduce. Then both players flip red to green. So the British red flips to green like that. And then that is then we have the interdiction, placement, return, and cast mission return phase. We don't have any of that here. So then that's the end of the German player turn. And next will be the British Army turn.